Obviously, one of the worst issues with the Jeep Grand Cherokee is, of course, the gas cap shutting off every single time that you try and do it. So I don't know if it's the filler hose that they use, the filler neck on this. The capless Phillips sounds like an absolutely great idea until you go to use it, and then you have to hold it upside down just like this. And I don't know, guys. That's got to be top 1 or 2 worst features on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, because this happens to pretty much everyone. So if it doesn't happen to you, then you're lucky. And for the rest of us, now that we got a little bit of fresh gas in her, we can actually go talk about some of the other worst features, which I'm gonna be honest, in these, there's quite a few, but at least in the SRT and the V6 that I both owned, I have some really good talking points here, and you guys have heard me mention these before. So hopefully you guys can back me up on them, because I think a lot of us can agree that these are some of the worst features. And yeah, maybe avoid them if you can, or go for one or the other. I guess it depends what you're buying. But let's just get on the way. We got auto mode. That's what we're talking about. Now I'll be able to go into this a little bit more in just a second after we get to where we're going. But the auto mode on this does have a feature known as MDS, which, like I said, I'll break down and tell you exactly what it means here in just a second. Basically, that's where all the lifter issues come from in these 6.4 liter and 5.7 liter Hemi engines. Now, personally, I don't really see any point of why it does any of this. I also don't see the point of why this has a feature for eco mode. Like, why do we have eco mode on a 392 engine in a Jeep that does almost 500 horsepower? It's one of those things that's like, you know, maybe you weren't thinking, like, who's buying this for gas mileage anyway? And if they are buying it for gas mileage, like, do they want to really abuse the engine even more by clicking this little eco on button and really just feeling how awful it feels? I don't even know if you guys will be able to hear it, but this thing, it almost feels like it's sticking when you drive like that. Like the transmission is just like sticking and like fluttering, and it just, I don't know how to explain it. But let's go ahead and just ruin my engine here for just a second so I can show you, because that's what we do here on the channel, boys. I'm all about the content, so I do whatever I need to do to show you guys and tell you guys and explain things to you. So now we got eco mode on, we're in auto mode, and let's just get going and let's see if we can capture how sluggish it feels and how just like awful the shifts are and how like clunky it is. It's not a good system, and I really wish that they would not have put it in. So driving in low speeds with that MDS on through parking lots, stuff like that, is usually helpful to keep it on auto so that in the sport mode it doesn't try and shift at a higher RPM. It feels a little bit better in parking lots. But I will say, once you start going a little bit faster in the parking lots, you're still at that lower speed, it still just feels like it's like hanging there and like rolling, and just, I don't know, it needs to do something different, because that is just not good. Now I'm going to read this from a Jeep forum, an article on there that talks about what MDS is, why it is, how it works, and all that kind of stuff, just so I can give you guys a little bit of accurate information, because I don't want to lie to you guys and just come off the top and say what I think it is. I'm going to go from what it actually is. So MDS stands for the multi-displacement system, and what that means is that a number of cylinders will activate given certain conditions. So in most conditions, that basically means that it might cut some cylinders power to give you the accurate amount of power that you need at a certain or specific time. Now it's essentially just like in my old truck when I had a Chevy Silverado and they had a V4 mode. So essentially it would cut half the cylinders to save you and help you on gas mileage, but in effect it actually ends up wearing down the engine a lot more over a long period of time. So that's basically what the MDS system is doing in the Jeep SRT, except this one will actually go, maybe it goes to 6 cylinders, maybe it goes to 4 cylinders. It'll switch around through and give you the amount that you need for what you're doing. So that's supposed to help with gas mileage. I don't think it does. I think most people don't think it does, and it probably doesn't. Now that is definitely one of the worst features on the SRT and Hemi 5.7 models. Now I will say that the V6 do have an option that is possibly, potentially, definitely even worse, and that's going to be if you jump inside. I obviously have the SRT, so I don't have it, but on my previous V6 Altitude we had it, and instead of an eco mode button down over there on the dash, what are you going to get? You're going to get that option for the start stop feature. Now as you guys know, I have a video that popped off for like 200,000 views or something now on how to disable that, and there's several different ways to disable it. So definitely recommend, if you have a V6 Jeep, disable that, because it's known to not be great for the engine. You know, they're slowly creating more and more problems as time goes on. But the biggest feature and the biggest issue that I personally have with it is it feels awful, it feels stupid, and I hate that feeling of being at a red light and having a slight delay when I go to hit the gas that it's doing that. I also feel like the car's just not moving sometimes, and why would you work with me, Jeep? Why would you ever put this feature on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Why'd you ever put this feature in any car? I know the new Wranglers have it, and like it's like the new thing is to have the start-stop feature so that it lowers emissions and all that kind of stuff. But like obviously me and emissions, you know, SRT. But we do say that like why is that a thing? Like I personally think it's super bad. It's stupid. It feels awful, and it is just I don't know. You should have the option to not get it. I think on the newer Wranglers, you might have the option to get it with or without, but I think most of them do have it. Most people just click the button off anyway, so like why even have it? And also, why not make the button sticky? So when you press the button, it just automatically knows, okay, I want this off. Just like the eco mode on this. If I press that, it stays like that forever until I press it again. Why doesn't it do that on the V6 Jeep? Now, I'm not sure if this is a feature that any of you guys use. I don't even know if I have it on this one, but I did have it on my V6 when I first got it, and that's gonna be the automatic braking. So when you're gonna back into something, it's just gonna slam on the brakes really hard, and it feels awful. A lot of these things are complaints that feel awful on the Jeep. So I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. If you guys drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee, these are probably a lot of things you guys can relate to. And I don't get it, man. It's all well and good. It sounds great. I mean, if you guys back into everything, like if you guys are one of those people who just backs into everything, then definitely keep it on. But for me, I've never backed into anything. I never really feel the urge to back into anything. So I don't personally keep it on. And I don't even know if I have it in the SRT. I believe that I do, but I don't know. And yeah, if I was just gonna back up right over here and just go right into this little guardrail, then it would just slam on the brakes and stop me if I had that feature enabled. Like I said, if you guys back into things a lot, then you're gonna want to put that on. Like I said, I personally have never backed into anything, you know, pat myself on the back, hey. But yeah, if you're like a decent driver, you probably don't just be backing into things. I guess it is a nice feature to stop you and prevent that, but it feels so bad. And it's like the gap, it feels like it's from here to there. Like it literally feels like it is the longest time ever. Like it's not like, oh, when I'm gonna hit right here on the bumper and I'm like this close, it's gonna stop. No, it's gonna stop you like here so that you have like 40 feet between you. It's not a good feature. You know, a lot of these features are just things that feel awful and are features that I don't understand as to why they're in the Jeep or in any vehicle. But you know, the technology is taking over, boys. The technology is definitely taking over. I want you guys to let me know down below, what are your worst features on your Jeep? What are the things that you guys hate about your Jeep? Like there's got to be other things that I'm not going to say in this video that are probably really bothersome to a lot of people. And I'm sure that there's things that I'm overlooking too. You know, it always happens, but there's just there's got to be things. So let's comment those down below, get that community going and the conversation going down in the comment section as usual. Really get this thing just pumping up. You know, it's got a lot of people, because like you guys know that this channel does bring in a lot of people who are looking for Jeep Grand Cherokees and looking to purchase them. So obviously we want to help inform them and help them make an informed decision before purchasing one if they are going to, because for me that's what I did and I happen to love it, but I know some people have happened to hate it. So definitely want to help people get an informed decision. And let me know down below what you guys are having as far as complaints or worst features, because there's a lot of features in these Jeeps, so what's good, what's bad. Another feature that doesn't really affect me anymore, but that's going to be the headlights. I guess this one I mentioned before. It is technically a feature, I guess, is the headlights. In this one, obviously, you do have like the daytime running lights and the upgraded LED headlights and fog lights, but if you did not, you have to go up under through here. There's a tiny little hole right in there. You probably barely see it, and you have to go up through that and swap that headlight out with a better one. And I think it should just come factory LEDs. I'm still confused why they are coming halogen bulbs on any vehicle, especially a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which starts at a decent price. Like, it's not a very cheap vehicle. It's not a bottom of the barrel vehicle. And that's something that I think should happen. I understand interior lights not being LED so you can dim them. That is a completely understandable feature. Headlights, why are they not LED? That shouldn't that be like a safety thing? Like LEDs, much brighter, you know, you want to get some things like, why are you still putting halogen bulbs in, bro? It's not that serious, man. It's not that serious. Just pop in the LEDs up there, make this thing look better, make it feel better, make it be able to see better. Like, I'm going blind, boys. I'm going blind. Like, I got tinted windshield. What am I gonna do without it? The CD player in the center console. Now, you guys remember that I did have this before. I had the CD player before down here, and it takes up literally 95% of this. You get a tiny little cubby here. And that's something that I had before that I fortunately do not have now, but if I had it, I would remove it, because it is one of the worst things that I've ever experienced in a vehicle. Like, you have no storage. Like, you have a tiny bit of storage over there in your glove box, but this is your main storage, and to take 95% of that for a CD player who's even using CDs, like, not me. I've never used a CD since I was probably like 10 years old, so You know, that's another feature that I wish was not an option on the Jeeps. That is definitely one of the worst features. Other than that though, guys, I don't think I have many more features to complain about in this video. I know it's a big ranting video as usual. We just got a lot to complain about, boys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. What are your worst features? Are they the same as mine, or do you have any other ones, or anything that I missed in this video that you guys dislike? Let me know down below. Of course, like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe to stay up to date with future content. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
I feel like I am losing control, 'cause it feels like I'm losing